Hello everybody, I am Mrs. Poppet and this is my place. Welcome to another story time. I have chosen one I think you're really going to like, for it is very, very cute. Have you ever heard of the story of the clever little tailor? Well, don't worry if you haven't, because we're going to read it together now. The Clever Little Tailor. Once upon a time there was a princess who was very proud. If a young man came to see her, she would give him a riddle to guess, and if he could not figure out the answer, she would send him contemptuously away. She told everyone that she would marry the man who was able to solve her riddle, no matter who he was. 3 tailors decided they would try together. The 2 eldest thought they had done so many dexterous, difficult sewing tasks successfully that they were bound to succeed at the riddle as well. The 3rd, youngest tailor, was down at heel and was no good at his work, but thought he must have some luck with the riddle, for where else was success to come from? The eldest brother said to him, "Just stay at home. You can't do much with a brain like yours." But the little tailor refused to be discouraged, and said he would manage well enough. He went forth as if the whole world were his. They went to the princess and said she should ask her riddle, and that their thinking was so fine it could be threaded through a needle. The princess said, "I have 2 different kinds of hair on my head. What colors are they?" The first tailor answered, "It must be black and white, like the cloth called salt and pepper." The princess said, "Wrong answer. Let the second man answer." The second tailor said, "Well, if it's not black and white, it must be brown and red, like my father's good company coat." "Wrong answer," said the princess. "Let the third man give an answer." Then the little tailor stepped boldly forward and said, "The princess has silver and golden hair on her head. Those are the 2 different colors." When the princess heard this answer, she turned pale and nearly fell down with terror, for the little tailor had solved her riddle, and she firmly believed that no man on earth could do it. When her courage returned, she said, "You cannot marry me yet. There is something more you must do. Below in the stable is a bear. You must pass the night with it. When I get up in the morning, if you are still alive, you shall marry me." She expected this would get rid of the little tailor, for no one had ever survived falling in the clutches of a bear. The little tailor refused to be frightened. He was quite excited and said, "Boldly ventured is halfway won." When the evening came, the little tailor was taken down to the bear. The bear growled, "Arr!" and was about to hit the little fellow with his paws, but "Softly, softly," said the little tailor. "I will soon make you quiet." Then quite composedly, as if he had not an anxiety in the world, he took some nuts out of his pocket, cracked them, and ate the kernels. When the bear saw this, he was seized with a desire for nuts. The tailor reached into his pocket for a handful, but these were pebbles instead of nuts. The bear put them in his mouth, but could get nothing out of them, no matter how hard he bit. "What a dumb blockhead I am," he thought. "I cannot even crack a nut." Then he said to the tailor, "Here, crack me the nuts." "There, see what a stupid fellow you are," the little tailor said. "Fancy having such a great mouth and not being able to crack a small nut." Then he took the pebble, but nimbly put a nut in his mouth instead, and crack! It was broken in 2. "I must try the thing again," said the bear. "When I watch you, I feel as though I ought to be able to do it." So the tailor once more gave him a pebble, and the bear tried and tried to bite into it with all the strength of his body, but of course he could not. Then the tailor took out a violin from beneath his coat and played to himself. When the bear heard the music, he could not help but dancing. And when he had danced a while, he was so happy that he said to the little tailor, "Tell me, is the fiddle heavy?" "It's light as a feather, enough for a child. Look, with the left hand I lay my fingers on it, and with the right I stroke it with the bow. And then it sings merrily, Tum-ta-tum-ta-tum. "Well," said the bear, "I would like to learn to play the violin so I could dance whenever I wanted. Will you give me lessons?" "With all my heart," said the tailor, "if you have the talent for it. But just let me see your claws. They are terribly long, and I must cut your nails a bit." Then a vise was brought, and the bear put his claws in it, and the tailor screwed it tight and said, "Now wait until I come with the scissors." Then he let the bear growl "Arr!" as much as he liked, lay down in the corner of a bundle of straw, and fell asleep. When the princess heard the bear growling so fiercely during the night, she suspected he was only growling for joy, and had killed the little tailor. In the morning she rose carefree and happy, but when she peeped into the bear's stable, the tailor stood cheerfully before her, as healthy as a fish in water. Now she could not say another word against the wedding, because she had given a promise in front of everybody. The little tailor and the princess got into her carriage, setting off for the church to be married. But then the two older tailors, who had false hearts and were jealous of the little tailor, went into the stable and unscrewed the bear again. The bear ran after the carriage in great fury. The princess heard him snorting and growling. "Roar, roar!" She was terrified and cried, "The bear is behind us and wants to get you." The tailor was quick. He stood on his head, stuck his legs out the window, and cried, "Do you see the vise? Be off, or you will be locked into it again." The bear turned around and ran away. The clever little tailor drove quietly to the church, and the princess was married to him, and he lived with her happy as a woodlark. And whoever does not believe this must pay a silver coin. Isn't that just cute? The ending is just so sweet. Anyway, I think you know that if you are honest and you try to do the right thing, good things happen to you. And the other tailors were just jealous and mean, and they didn't get to marry the princess. So they lived happily ever after, and the story is done. It was so fun spending story time with you again today. I can't wait to see you again tomorrow.